Hi guys, Matthew Lepard here again. I got another video. Forgive my voice. I was fighting a little sickness over the weekend and I'm feeling fine now. It's just I lost my voice. It's a little funny, but I've got this 1999 Ford Ranger I'm going to do a little bit of work on. I just wanted to get an intro here. If you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. Click that subscribe button. That'll help with these YouTube algorithms. And let me turn this camera around. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I got a little high idle on this thing. Right now it's running about 1,000, 1,100 RPMs. Sometimes it'll run up close to 2,000. I'm pretty sure it's the idle air control valve, so I'm going to pull the idle air control valve off, and I'm going to also clean the throttle body while I'm in there. So I'll get the hood open and we'll get started. Yeah, here's this idle air control valve. Here's a new one. It's pretty simple. You pull that plug out. Has two 8mm bolts come out, and that's it. It's a real simple process. The new one came with a new gasket, so I don't have to worry quite so much about that. And there's your idle air control valve. I went ahead and got one off of Rock Auto. I usually get my stuff from AutoZone, but at less than $30 compared to $62, I thought that was a worthwhile investment going to Rock Auto. And we'll take this breather tube off to get the throttle body off. There's a screw underneath here. It's a flathead screwdriver. It wants to push under, so you got to kind of grab it. And then it pulls off. Kind of get it out of the way. Whoops. I don't mean to drop everything. This engine is a 3-liter V6 engine, not the 4-liter. Here's the throttle cable. I need to pull this out up like that. Find that slot, pulls right out. There's also an electrical connector over here that pulls off. And then we've got 4 10mm bolts right here. All right, I'll go ahead and take these 4 bolts off camera, and then we'll come back. Okay, I got the bottom 2 bolts off. The bottom 2 bolts are kind of a bear. You kind of got to feel it. You can't see it unless you're a contortionist. That bolt comes out, and this one comes out. And your throttle body's off. And I don't know if this thing has ever been cleaned. You see all that kind of gunk in there. That's pretty nasty. I'm going to take some carburetor cleaner. I'm going to clean this up inside and out. Get everything looking. That side's pretty bad too, the inlet side. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off camera with carburetor cleaner. And then we'll come back before I put everything together. Okay, I'm going to clean a little bit inside of here as best I can. I'm not going to spray the brake cleaner directly into that. I'm going to spray it onto the rag, and just, I don't want to spray the carburetor cleaner directly into that thing, but I want to clean it as far back as is feasible, just to get that gunk out of there, and clean around the face of it. And then I'm going to put everything back together. Putting it back together, just the reverse of taking it apart. And then once you get all back together, we'll fire this thing up, and hopefully we've got normal RPM, around 600 RPM. I got that idle air control valve changed. It idles down a little bit more, not a lot. When the AC compressor shuts off, it revs back up, and will eventually come back down. But it seems to be a little bit more consistent with the idle air control valve. I don't see a vacuum leak. There's definitely something else still going on with it. I'll have to work on that, but for now, That's made it a little bit better. We'll kind of go from here. Well, that was a pretty simple repair, start to finish. Less than 30 minutes, and all you need is an 8mm socket and ratchet with a ratchet and a 10mm and a flathead screwdriver. That's all you need for this job. Pretty simple procedure. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. I'll be sure to respond as appropriate. And I hope that helps you. And like I said at the beginning, go ahead and click that like button. Feel free to share this video with anybody you know that has a Ford Ranger with that 3.0 V6. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us with these YouTube algorithms. I swear that's a tongue twister for me. But I appreciate you watching. And until next time, have a great day. I put that idle air control valve on this thing yesterday, and it just didn't act right. It was kept getting worse all day long. So I got to looking, pulled the intake off, and right here on this EGR pressure sensor, it has these two vacuum lines that go from there over to right down there. There's two lines right there, and the bigger of the two, the 9/32, that was the hose as I took it off. That was a massive vacuum leak. So I replaced both the two vacuum lines, and just went down to AutoZone, got the two different sizes and stuck them on there. And it's still idling just slightly high. I went ahead and put the old idle air control valve back on. It's idling at about 850 RPMs. It should be down closer to 6 or 7, but it's not too bad. I'm guessing there's a vacuum leak, still a small vacuum leak somewhere, and I'll trace that another time. But anyway, this was my biggest culprit. I misdiagnosed it as being an idle air control valve. But I got the biggest problem fixed. You can see how this is just brittle hard. I mean, that had wasn't stopping any vacuum whatsoever. It's just pretty much useless. So anyway, I replaced that with brand new vacuum lines, and it's working good, and now I'm happy with it. Okay, now you can see that I'm running about 700 RPMs, maybe slightly high, but not too bad. It beats the 1200 or 1500 RPM that it was running, so looks like I'm pretty good.